Hey, what's up guys? It's Michael McAllister, founder of Empower Funnels, as well as a currently producing loan officer. Just want to talk to you a little bit about whether or not you should be investing in a mortgage website for your mortgage business. I get this question asked all the time, so I wanted to go over this a little bit more in depth and talk about what should go into your decision as far as what you should be investing in when it comes to a mortgage website. So the first thing that you want to do when it comes to this is you want to identify what your goal is, okay? Identify what your goal is with your website. What is it? Are you trying to brand yourself? Are you trying to put out content? Are you trying to generate leads? Or are you just trying to direct people somewhere where they can where they can submit a 1003, right? Where they can submit a loan application. What is it exactly that you're trying to accomplish with your website? And knowing that is going to help you determine who to align yourself with because your website is going to look entirely different if your goal is to host content and brand yourself than if your goal is simply to generate leads. And you might spend way more on a website for something that brands yourself and puts out a ton of content or whatever, when really at the end of the day, all you're trying to do is generate leads right now. And you can do that strictly with a single page landing page. So understand that. Number two, you want to understand what feeds those goals, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, as much as some people will like to tell you and as much as you want to think it's the case, having a website in and of itself is not enough. So if you get a website that's geared towards branding yourself and putting out content, but you're not putting in the work to get traffic to that website or to put content on that website or what have you, if you're not putting in that work, then your then your money is going to be completely wasted. The money that you invested originally into that website is going to be completely wasted, and any sort of efforts that you put into it down the road are going to be futile at best because you're not putting in the basic groundwork that you need to be able to leverage your website to its max capacity. So let's talk about that, right? With branding, let's see, what do we talk about? Branding, content, lead gen, and a 1003, taking in 1003, right? So what's going to feed these goals? Well, with branding, in order for you to be branding yourself with your website has to be seen in some way, shape, or form, right? So how is it, what is the way that people are going to be able to see your website? You need to think about this ahead of time, because if you don't and you just throw up a website and say, I'm going to figure this out later, chances are you're not going to have a strategy or a plan in place anytime soon as far as how you're going to drive traffic to that website and get the branding use that you're paying for, basically, right? Content, same sort of thing. Who's putting out the content? If your goal with your website is to put out a bunch of content out there and really position yourself as a resource, is it going to be you putting out that content? Are you putting it out daily, weekly, monthly? What does that look like? Make sure you're identifying this before you go into purchasing a mortgage website. Otherwise, you're going to buy something you don't need and just spend more money on something that you think is going to fix your problems, and it's really not, okay? Same thing with lead generation. How are you going to generate leads? I see people all the time. They say, okay guys, hey, I got this really cool website from this company. You know, there's 5 or 6 different companies that'll make mortgage websites for you that are designed to generate leads and blah, blah, blah. The problem is people think, okay, I have a website that's optimized to generate leads, so I buy this website and all of a sudden I'm going to get leads, right? Wrong. You've got to have a traffic source. You've got to have a plan for how you're going to execute on your vision and fulfill those goals that you were pointing to when you decided to get your website in the first place, right? So if you're identified your goal as lead gen and you don't have a way to get traffic to that website to generate leads, then you're wasting your money. You're just dumping money out the window, right? And so you want to make sure you understand what feeds those goals. And for most of these, it's going to be traffic, right? When it comes, well, no, I'm sorry. Let me put that a different way. For branding, if branding or lead generation is your goal, then you need traffic, okay? If content is your goal, then you need time, right? You need time, or you need a writer. Time or a writer, basically, okay? you need content for your content-driven website, right? If just having somebody fill out a 1003 is your goal, then you need to ask yourself whether or not your company already offers something for you. And if they don't, then it's probably not going to be worth your while to explore it, because your company's probably not going to integrate with your loan origination system for some random third-party website that you bring in. The fact is if your goal is just to be able to collect a 1003, collect an online application from somebody, and your company doesn't support that already, you probably need to align yourself with a different company, because the fact is your company's a dinosaur, and they need to step up their game a little bit. So either you need to bring that to their attention, or align yourself with a different company. In my opinion, getting a website just to be able to take a 1003 in this day and age is useless. It makes no sense for you, because the fact of the matter is your company should already have this in place for you, okay? So what is this perfect balance, right? To answer the question, should I buy a mortgage website? Should I invest in a mortgage website? Guys, if you're going to invest in a mortgage website and you're going to invest more than a nominal amount, or an amount that you're okay with just throwing away because you just want a presence online, right? You basically just want a virtual yellow page listing. If that's the case and you can get one for cheap enough to where it makes sense, awesome, go for it. But if you're seriously analyzing this question, should I invest in a mortgage website? In my opinion, the perfect use of a mortgage website is as follows, okay? The perfect use, and I'm going to pick up my notes here so that I don't screw any of this up. Perfect use of a website, basically, if you're going to invest into a mortgage website, the absolute best combination of things that you can have is you need a website where you can host content that you're going to put out regularly, or you're going to pay somebody to put out regularly, so that you can boost your search engine optimization rankings and build your organic traffic over time, but also so that you can position yourself as a resource. You can post those blog posts on Facebook, and by tying it back to that page, you can put a tracking pixel on it that allows you to retarget the people that are reading your blog posts. A lot of benefits to putting out content regularly on a website, but at the same time, none of that content is useful if you're not branding yourself simultaneously. And so the perfect use involves not only putting that content out on a regular basis and hosting that content, but also building a brand around your name or your function in the community, and building a brand around that, and ultimately using landing pages that are independent of your website, whether they're at a completely different domain entirely, or they're just at a slug to where they're not accessible unless somebody clicks on your ads, but you're going to use landing pages that are optimized for lead generation for your lead generation. Now, LeadPops is a company that does a lot around optimizing websites for lead generation. And one thing that I would say is that they do a really good job of making sure that your website as a whole, and not just your landing pages, are optimized for lead generation. So LeadPops is a good company to align yourself with if you're looking for the perfect use, the perfect site. I've got an affiliate link in the description below, so check that out. It helps me out and helps to provide for me as I continue to put out this free content for you guys. So in my opinion, if you're looking for a website that does all of these things, just make sure that you know what your goals are going into it. Make sure that you understand how it all works and how you're going to accomplish your goals other than just having the website, and then align yourself with the right company that's going to help you deliver on that. So with that, that's everything. Do you need a mortgage website? Really, it depends on your business. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later, and I'll see you at the top.